Finish watching this recording all the way through, as it delves into the profoundest secrets of quantum consciousness and how the quantum field shows up in everyday existence. Discover what true manifestation really means in the world around us. You've likely been told that bringing your dream life into being is a complicated process, one that demands intricate ceremonies, endless sessions of imagining outcomes, flawless positive affirmations, and an unrelenting pursuit of elevated emotional states. But imagine if quantum manifestation were actually astonishingly straightforward? So straightforward, in fact, that hardly anyone approaches it in the right way. You're already existing within the quantum field itself, a realm boundless in its potential. This field doesn't respond to your strenuous efforts, instead, it aligns with your inner harmony. Yet, so many individuals treat manifestation like a constant battle. They try to overpower their present circumstances through sheer determination, reciting positive statements they don't truly believe in, picturing results while harboring secret doubts, and forcing optimistic thoughts even as their bodies remain gripped by anxiety, scarcity, and tension. This is where the entire framework collapses, because in the quantum realm, forcing things through coercion creates resistance. Let's simplify this down to its elegant essence. Quantum manifestation isn't about acquiring what you desire. It's about collapsing the version of reality where you already possess it. It's not focused on altering the external world first. Rather, it's about becoming an internal beacon that draws that world toward you. The quantum field holds every conceivable outcome: triumph and setback, abundance and lack, connection and isolation, vitality and struggle. All of these exist as waves of probability. But here's the crucial insight: a wave doesn't collapse into your lived experience until it encounters a coherent, unified observer. That observer is you. Your focus, your attention, your feelings, they shape reality like skilled artisans. However, most people are trapped in a cycle. They observe from a place of fear. They concentrate on what's missing. They resonate at the frequency of deficiency while attempting to attract plenty. In the language of the quantum field, this isn't a clear message, it's just noise. You've been taught to chase after what you want. But the true art of manifestation lies in becoming the version of yourself that no longer needs to chase. This is the self that remembers, I am already quantumly entangled with the life I desire. The field awaits your signal. Your role isn't to push harder, but to become clearer. Why do so few people do this? Because simplicity can be disarming. Because letting go of control feels counterintuitive. Because stepping away from the race seems like giving up. But there's a paradox that few discuss: the instant you stop needing it so desperately, the field can finally deliver it to you. Recall a time when something arrived effortlessly and naturally. When you unexpectedly met that special someone, when an opportunity appeared without you even asking, when a brilliant idea struck precisely when you weren't forcing it. What was common in those instances? You weren't contracted, you weren't pressing, you were open, aligned, receptive. That's the essence of quantum manifestation at work. Even if you didn't realize it then, the quantum field doesn't heed your words. It reads your energy. You could repeat "I am wealthy" 1,000 times. But if your body continues to broadcast fear, if your heart is constricted in scarcity, if your nervous system is addicted to struggle, the field will mirror back that very chaos. Not out of cruelty, but because it's impeccably precise. From this comes a radical transformation. Quantum manifestation begins when you shift from focusing on getting to emphasizing the state of being. You become the signal, you embody the vibration, you let your inner state lead rather than your exertions. But then a key question arises: what exactly does the quantum field respond to? Is it just thoughts, emotions, beliefs, actions? And how do you align all these layers so they don't send mixed messages? This is where most teachings on manifestation fall apart. They isolate one element, often thoughts or feelings, and overlook the holistic coherence of the system. You're advised to think positively, but they don't address the traumas lodged in the body. They encourage visualization, but fail to help clear subconscious sabotage patterns. They suggest affirming success, while your nervous system still anticipates failure. Yet the quantum field listens to the entire signal as a whole, an integrated, embodied one. That's why alignment isn't a mental exercise. It's a reconfiguration of the entire body, the whole system, the full field. Going deeper into the mechanics, the quantum field doesn't respond to thoughts alone, or emotions alone, or actions alone. It detects how all three align into a single coherent signal without distortions. Picture the quantum field as a cosmic interpreter. When thoughts, feelings, and actions are in harmony, the message is crystal clear. The vibration is stable, and the response arrives almost immediately. But when you think one thing, feel another, and do a third, the message garbles, and the field reflects not clarity, but confusion. Here enters the observer effect, the cornerstone of quantum physics. At the quantum level, particles exist in a state of pure potential as wave functions. But when the observer tunes into a specific potential, that wave collapses into a definite event. Reality solidifies, choices crystallize, the invisible becomes visible. And here's a vital nuance: the observer isn't solely your conscious mind. The observer includes the subconscious as well. This means that even if consciously you desire abundance, but subconsciously you're wired for survival, scarcity, or fear, the field picks up that hidden signal. Your subconscious becomes the true observer, collapsing the timeline you didn't consciously select. That's why so many feel stuck. They align the surface mind while ignoring deep programs that drive them from within. In the quantum game, the subconscious nearly always prevails. Things get even more fascinating from here. Researchers and practitioners like Dispenza and Bruce Lipton discuss how the heart generates its own electromagnetic field, vastly stronger than the brain's. This heart field radiates outward and interacts with the larger quantum field surrounding you. When heart and brain achieve coherence, you send a potent unified signal. When they're out of sync, the signal weakens and fragments. This is why attempts to manifest through willpower and thoughts alone so often fail. Without the emotional component, without the lived sensation of alignment, the field lacks a clear signal to reflect. Many miss the mark right here. They aim to think their way to change, when what they truly need is to feel their way to harmony. You can't just tell the field what you want. You must become its vibrational match. This involves tuning your body, breath, nervous system, beliefs, and daily choices into a state of balance. It's not a one-time ritual, it's an ongoing way of living. Consider a real-world illustration. Suppose you wish to manifest love. You might write affirmations, craft vision boards, imagine the perfect partner. But if deep down you carry wounds of "I'm not worthy," if your nervous system is clenched in anticipation of rejection, if your heart is armored by fear of vulnerability, the quantum field senses that tension. It detects the contradiction, and in return, you receive more longing, more searching, more near connections that never quite materialize. Not because the universe is punishing you, but because it perfectly mirrors your dominant frequency. The shift is toward coherence, toward feeling wholeness right now, toward practicing the emotions of what you desire before it appears. Toward embodying the state of "I already have it," so the field can collapse the corresponding timeline into form. You become the frequency first, and then the form follows. This might sound expansive, but at its core lies a beautifully simple truth. The less you control the outcome and the more you focus on regulating your inner state, the swifter the quantum field responds. Hence the title, it's simple, but few truly do it. The mind loves to complicate things, craving 10 steps, 5 hacks, a foolproof formula. But the quantum field isn't a machine. It's a mirror, a dance partner. It's alive, responsive, intelligent, and it awaits your steady, embodied presence. And this is where the practice begins. Take a deep breath right now. Notice how your body feels as you read this. Observe where tension resides. Notice the background narrative spinning in your head, and for a moment, soften. Loosen the grip. Allow the need to fix, push, and figure everything out to dissolve, even if just a little. Feel what it's like to be okay right here and now, without changing a thing. This is where your power starts. Before moving on, it's helpful to anchor this shift. If you feel a resonance, a spark of recognition, imagine subscribing to this new state. And if this were a video format, you'd be invited to join a space, a conversation, a community, and in the comments, leave one word, the energy you want to embody this week. Trust, ease, joy. Whatever word comes first, that's your signal.
Name it, share it, make it real. In the moment you name it, you begin aligning with it. Next arises the question, why do so few truly do this? With books, courses, endless videos on manifestation available, so many remain in disappointment and stagnation. The answer is straightforward yet uncomfortable. Letting go feels unnatural. The mind is hooked on control. We've been conditioned to believe that the harder we try, the more we deserve, that struggle equates to worth, that the tougher the labor, the greater the chance of success. So when we encounter a system like quantum manifestation, where the key is coherence, alignment, and surrender, it shorts our old wiring. We keep trying to force the outcome, even though that very frequency of tense control tells the field we don't trust the process. This breeds the trap of control. Many who falter in manifestation constantly monitor results. They visualize abundance but anxiously check their bank account every hour. They script scenarios of perfect love but obsessively watch for messages and profiles on dating sites. They declare health but scan their body for symptoms each morning. In doing so, they send the field a signal of distrust. Consciously affirming one thing while subconsciously broadcasting the opposite. This is critical because the quantum field doesn't speak English, Russian, or any human tongue. It speaks energy. And energy doesn't lie. You can utter perfectly crafted words, but if your nervous system is contracted in loss anticipation, your mind looped in doubts, your body flooded with stress hormones, the field reads the deeper frequency. That's why so many are exhausted. They do all the right things, but from a state of hypervigilance, scarcity, and fear, and thus get stuck in a loop, manifesting more waiting, more struggle, more searching, because energetically they're not in the timeline of I already have it, they're in I'm trying to get it, and here things become even subtler. The subconscious governs roughly 95% of your life. It's the autopilot shaping habits, beliefs, emotional responses, and your sense of who I am. You might consciously crave a breakthrough, but if the subconscious is anchored in old stories, I'm not enough, things never work out for me, everything requires a fight, those stories repeatedly collapse the wave into familiar outcomes. That's why affirmations without embodiment feel hollow. Why visualizations crumble without nervous system regulation. Why action without aligned identity leads to burnout. What to do? Recognize that quantum manifestation isn't an add-on to life. It's a recalibration of the entire system. It's remembering and returning. It's becoming the version of yourself that already inhabits the desired timeline, even before external evidence appears. If you want to manifest abundance, start practicing feelings of abundance now. Not later, not when the money arrives, but already. Treat yourself with generosity, attention, and care, release micromanaging the result and focus on embodying the signal of trust. If you want love, start loving yourself now, open your heart, soften your defensive edges, become the partner you wish to attract. Stop seeking validation externally and live as if you're already worthy, because you are. If you want health, stop daily hunting for breakdowns and start nurturing what's already functioning. Shift from survival mode to one of resilience and renewal. Thank your body for what's alive in it, gently guide it toward greater vitality. And again, the paradox, once you stop needing it at any cost, it arrives faster. Not due to some cosmic game, but because you cease being the resistance. Look honestly, where in your life are you still gripping the wheel with white knuckles? Where are you still measuring, controlling, pushing, and rushing? What might happen if you eased your hold by even 10%? This isn't about passivity, it's about moving from control to co-creation. And in this subtle yet powerful shift, quantum manifestation finally starts to work authentically. Next, consider simple yet seldom used techniques that help rewire the system, regulate your state, and become the purest signal for the quantum field. How to dissolve resistance without evading real emotions. How to build trust with the subconscious. How to step into the desired timeline as if it's already yours. Here we approach perhaps the most potent truth of quantum manifestation, one that's always right in front of us but rarely fully articulated: you don't manifest what you want. You manifest what you are. This isn't just a poetic saying. It's the principle governing how the quantum field interacts with you. The field doesn't react to your words, vision boards, or perfect affirmations.
It responds to the signal of your being, to the vibrational signature with which you enter every room, every thought, every interaction.
And this signal is crafted right now, moment by moment. Not by what you do, but by how you are. Imagine a metaphor, you're a radio.
If you want to hear jazz, you don't sit demanding the universe play jazz while tuned to heavy rock. You adjust the frequency, aligning with the desired band.
Quantum manifestation operates similarly.
It's impossible to draw in a desired timeline while remaining in the frequency of the one you're trying to leave.
How to change that band? Begin by becoming aware of your current frequency.
Not just what you think, but how you feel, how your body moves through the day, how you breathe when afraid, what stories hum in the background of your mind.
Most people don't manifest consciously.
They do it on autopilot, replaying the same states, reactions, and energetic signals over and over.
And the field faithfully reflects them.
The shift starts when you intervene, not with brute force or desperate exertion, but with simple embodied practices.
This could be as subtle as one mindful breath in a moment of anxiety.
As gentle as placing a hand on your heart when self-doubt surges.
As bold as asking yourself, what would the me who already has this do right now?
And taking one small step from that place.
Crucially, the quantum field doesn't require you to be perfect. It needs you to be coherent. Coherence emerges when thoughts, emotions, and actions flow in one direction.
When you stop saying one thing, feeling another, and doing a third, when the whole system resonates like a unified chord. In such moments, you create a gravitational pull in the field. Reality begins to gravitate toward you. And here, practicality matters. If you want to embody abundance, practice generosity not just with money, but with attention, time, energy. Train your nervous system to feel I have enough, even if the numbers don't yet show it.
If you want to embody love, practice vulnerability.
Open your heart in small, courageous ways. Become the safe space you seek in another. If you want to embody health, practice presence, listen to your body, nourish, move, and rest it out of respect, not punishment. This is the straightforward path. Yet few follow it, because it asks you to take the first step. To become the frequency before proof arrives.
To be, rather than need.
From this flows another misunderstanding, the theme of emotional regulation.
Many believe manifestation means always feeling good. That's not it. It's about feeling authentically and gently returning the system to alignment when swayed.
This means not running from emotions, but meeting them.
Giving space to fear without handing it the wheel.
Practicing emotional literacy to navigate waves rather than drown in them. You'll doubt. There will be days when the old timeline pulls back.
That's normal.
Strength isn't in never falling, but in how you return.
Take a breath. Note where you are. Ask yourself, what timeline am I tuned to in this moment, fear or trust, scarcity or abundance, waiting or already fulfilled? Without judgment. Just observation. In noticing, choice appears.
And choice is the gateway to coherence.
Ultimately, it all converges into lived practice. How to turn these insights into a way of life. How to handle setbacks with grace. And how to maintain the frequency that collapses your desired timeline into reality. Manifestation isn't a stage performance, it's a practice.
Not something mastered once and for all, but lived moment by moment, choice by choice. Many get stuck thinking manifestation is about doing more, knowing more techniques, hacking the system.
But the most potent manifestors aren't those with the most methods.
They're those who've learned to sustain coherent states and return to alignment.
When life inevitably shakes them, you'll still encounter challenges. Days when fear returns.
Old patterns whisper, nothing's changed, and the former timeline tugs backward. In those times, the temptation to revert to control, pressure, and micromanaging reality will be strongest.
True mastery lies in staying in the frequency of trust even when external evidence is absent.
Holding the vibration of "it's already done" while the world looks unchanged. Being so anchored in the new timeline that the old no longer tempts.
Here's a practical framework. Each morning, before reaching for your phone, take a few breaths and ask, what frequency am I tuning to today, scarcity or abundance? fear or trust, control or flow? Throughout the day, use your body as a compass. The body signals when you've slipped out of alignment, tension, constriction, tightness. In that moment, no need to shame yourself or spiral into guilt. Simply notice, breathe, and retune. Ask what the me already living this would do now. Take one small step from that state. In the evening, review the day not with criticism, but curiosity. Where did you stray? Where did you align with yourself? Where did you glimpse your own power? Gratitude amplifies coherence, so acknowledge even the tiniest wins. And one more often overlooked element, environment matters. We're social, energetic beings. We attune to those around us. Surrounding yourself with people who also practice coherence, engage with the quantum field, and aim for embodiment, your system adjusts to their vibration. Thus, consciously choose your surroundings, not just physical but informational. Seek voices, spaces, communities that remind you of who you're becoming. Fill your field with signals of the chosen timeline. Let the external world bolster your inner practice. And remember, there's no finish line. The point isn't to reach and halt. It's to live in continuous unfolding, where you become the living edge of your own evolution, where you don't just manifest things, but exist as a creator. A co-creator, a conscious participant in shaping reality. And in the most beautiful twist of this path, the realization that the quantum field isn't separate from you. It's not something you manipulate from afar. You're intertwined with it. You're the field, the wave, the observer, and the observed. When you tune your frequency, you're not merely asking life to come to you, you become the version of life you've long sought. And let the final step be a small yet profound invitation. Choose one word that captures the energy with which you leave this text. Perhaps it's alignment, ease, power, or something uniquely yours. Let this word become your quantum seed. Not just an intention for show, but a gentle yet firm declaration to yourself. And if this were a channel format, here would come an invitation to subscribe, not just to content, but to a movement of people ready to step into their creative might. You're not merely an observer, you're a participant in this unfolding. Keep tuning, keep aligning, keep engaging with the field. For manifestations to work even better, subscribe to the channel. There will be so much more interesting and useful. You could also like it if you feel inclined.